Thank you for tuning in live today. We talked about it yesterday. We had a DoD contract. Well, they had the news release talking about how Inject, AP Eject is going to have a mobile app track you and then tag you with RFID chips. That's the moment where you know it's a fight for the future on the line. And I'm going to take you into how, of course, they put it on your phone, the contact tracing apps. I was just looking at it yesterday, and I showed y'all the release. And if you didn't catch that video, then check out the last video. But I already had said I was going to try to mobilize military, but he also said other forces. So, other forces as well. We'll get to that and basically show that video clip. Now, most of you probably already seen it, but we're also going to talk about the contact tracing app on your phone. We're going to talk about that because I was just seeing it yesterday, and then I'm looking at my girlfriend's phone. I'm like, let's see what update you got. And it was basically the iOS update 13.5, I believe, which she didn't have. And then basically from there, we was able to not get that update because you don't want that update. But I've been leaving the phone at home, so that's just another scenario here we're going to get into here in just a few, because they're rolling out the mobile units. They got the vans. We need to talk about resisting for our future now. That's really need to be the larger conversation. But Trump just announced in the interview he has mobilized the military and other forces now in order to position to give the vaccine to most of American population. So I'll play this video clip, and I think I had a second one down here where I played. They also had a rally today. They had the rally at Michigan where she said she'll arrest them if they come on the Capitol, but they had to cancel their legislative session to try to hurry up and run away from the armed protesters. So I guess fleeing season is here, but also standing up against tyranny season is here. It's about to get real different in America because they're rolling out the whole New World Order scheme. So I'm going to play this clip real quick about what Donald Trump has said, and we're going to go ahead and play some of that right now. Let's go ahead and pull this up to a bigger screen though.
Of the year, we're doing very well.
To normalcy.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a vaccine by the end of the year. We're doing very well with a vaccine. And I will tell you something, I just literally left a meeting. We're mobilizing our military and other forces, but we're mobilizing our military on the basis that we do have a vaccine. You know, it's a massive job to give this vaccine. Our military is now being mobilized. So at the end of the year, we're going to be able to give it to a lot of people.
So yeah, and other forces. So again, that could mean all the little order followers and other forces as other forces other than that. I mean, it could be marshals. It could be a lot of different things he's talking about. But the fact that he's talking about it just lets you know exactly what they have planned. They said they want to hear by October 2020. And so it's not too far off here while we talk about the situation. So I wanted to see that video clip real quick as basically all of the tyranny is rolling out and everybody's just following in on the top level right now. So they're all going in with the plan. It's a few people standing up together, but it's just the people themselves. And yeah, I see Wisconsin opening up, and the Supreme Court says, you know, it's unconstitutional basically. It lifted the restrictions. And so that's just one half of what's happening here. Just the fact that we're battling being shut down and having to open back up is so not the biggest issue at this point. When you hear about a trackable vax ID 2020 basically, and it is a big deal, of course, because that's people's livelihood. I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but I'm saying they're rolling out the vax where you basically get the mark of the beast, and he's saying he's mobilizing military and other forces. And so, like I said, a larger conversation should be about resisting this tyranny and how we're going to do it, because that's basically what phase we're hitting into. You've seen all the movies about the resistance, the groups, gathering and having to move back against tyranny. Of course, them trying to go out the spiritual community as well. Well, that's already in action. But they had another protest I told you about today. Heavily armed protesters gather again at Michigan Capitol to decry stay-home order. And so again, while they continue to erode the freedoms, we continue to sit here and rally and rally and rally, but freedom is steadily being taken away. It's good to rally, of course, when it comes to businesses and stuff, and like protecting businesses against this stuff. And so it says, despite heavy rain, armed protesters gathered Thursday at state capitol in Michigan, and what organizing group Michigan United for Liberty has branded Judgment Day. And I seen they had a little doll, because basically the doll was symbolizing them with Gretchen Whitmer or whatever, with the noose around her neck. And so of course they're going to try to make that a racial issue and say, oh, the racial stuff that's going on. No, it's about the governor there. That's what they're showing. That's what they're symbolizing. And so again, don't forget how bad they wanted the race wars to kick off and everything else. And again, they're still trying to expand that right now. So, and don't forget, it is those out there persecuting people in other communities. Or I just seen a cop another day go in, basically doing a search or something for somebody. They go shoot a black lady who's an EMT and kill her basically inside of her home. So that's the crazy type of crap in reality we got to sit here and deal with. And we don't need to sit here and deal with this stuff like this anymore. But let's go ahead and talk about this report. This was the third planned demonstration since Michigan has been under a stay-at-home order from Democratic Gov to slow the spread. Ahead of Thursday protests, comments were made in private Facebook groups threatening Whitmer and lawmakers with violence. They say again, I haven't seen it. I'm just looking at the reports and reported by Detroit Metro Times. And again, they did have the little news thing out there. So again, you're treasonous. So they're basically putting that out there as some symbolism to what happens to people during the treasonous period. Because I mean, it's either that or you just have all your businesses shut down. Again, I'd rather them be arrested and just be incarcerated and live the life of being alive and seeing how bad it feels to try to put somebody in slavery, because it's a cycle for everything you do. I mean, honestly, death would be the easy way out. Michigan canceled legislative session to avoid armed protests May 14, 2020. Michigan closed down its capital in Lansing on Thursday. Look at that. They closed it down and ran and canceled legislative session rather than face the possibility of an armed protest and death threats against Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The gathering meant to advocate opening the state for business despite the C-virus pandemic, followed by April 30, resulting in pictures of protesters clad in military-style gear, carrying long guns, crowding the state house. They confronted police, taunted lawmakers. So they ran, they closed down the session, they canceled, and they know exactly what they're doing. The documents have come out from the health departments about how they've already flattened this, the curve, and we need to wait for the curve, and all these people on the news steady telling you about the curve, and they're lying. And really at this point, it's getting to the point where they're full-blown traitors. Even in your news organizations, all that, again, they've been full-blown traitors, but they're just showing their real colors at this point. And so, yeah, going down the line of it and seeing what's happening, they're saying it's Judgment Day for her. But again, they closed the session and they disappeared. And then they had the doll kind of symbolizing her situation. And so one of the guys was kicked out for having that little doll there. So I want to give you another report. I'm just reporting on it. Don't worry. More surveillance powers are going to be enacted on you. And World Health Organization got it. U.S. Senate votes to extend government surveillance tools May 14, 2020. Yeah, everybody talking about that corona and all these viruses. But don't worry. Spot the dog. The robot is going to be out there. The drones and everything else is coming, because that's what they're going to deploy on there. So get ready for that too. The U.S. Senate comfortably approved a 2.5 year extension of parts of Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act (FISA) on Thursday, 2 months after the divisive provisions allowing government data collection expired. The Senate backed the reauthorization 80 to 16 far more than 60 votes needed for passage. The measure must be approved, however, by the House of Representatives before it can be sent to the White House and Donald Trump veto or sign it into law. Thursday, Republican-led Senate amended measures approved by Democratic-led House in March to improve legal protections from the subject to surveillance. And so, again, all we do here in America as a top agency, all we do here in America is listen to Bill Gates. All we do here in America is listen to Dr. Fauci. All we do is lay down and just let everything happen. That's basically what we do. I mean, on the top governmental level, that's what's happening. So it was not immediately clear when the House would vote. House package members were due to return to Washington on Friday to vote on a C virus relief package. The authorities that would be renewed until December 2023 cover the Pfizer court's approval of warrants for obtaining business records, allow surveillance without establishing that subject is acting on behalf of extremist group, the lone wolf provision, and allow continued eavesdropping on the subject who has changed cellular telephone providers. So yeah, they're really finna start spying on us now. They're really finna get deep into your phone, and that's exactly why. Let's take you to the COVID crap. Here it is right here. How to manage COVID-19 exposure notifications on our phone. If you look at it, and if you go in there, we just looked at this yesterday. I did it on my girlfriend's phone or whatever, and you basically go into your areas where Apple and Google have partnered to secure private coronavirus contact tracing implementation, iOS and Android. Follow along for where to find on and off toggle COVID-19 tracing, iOS settings. So again, you just go to your settings, and again, the update is iOS 13.5. So if you do not let your phone update, if so, then you'll have this in your phone. You'll go to privacy, then you'll hit health. I just did it yesterday. And then you'll go to the health, what can I call it, the tab or whatever, yeah, the health tab, and then you'll see COVID-19 exposure logging. And so they're basically in your phone. And yeah, you can turn it off or whatever, but guess what? It's still going to be right back on. So go ahead and try. But that's why I'm saying don't let it update in your phone at all. So that's how they're going to use the contact tracing thing, because if you walk past somebody, you know, they already just got the update ready for your phone forcefully if you don't stop the update. And I know my phone forcefully updates sometimes. And I had to say, like, if this happens, then I'm definitely going to be using my other phone. And I'll be using that for live stream. Quality might not be as great, because people ask me, like, oh, you got 5G, bro? Like, I'm like, no. When I call on my phone, it goes to 4G. It's an update in the phone that says 5G, but when you call, that's how you know what actual towers you're on. I'm on 4G towers, but the update in the phone says 5G because they have internal updates to get you ready and prepared. So then to link your phone in on an update later, and you'll be on the 5G for real. But I'm actually not. I wish I could actually show you in the call, but I can't right now. But this is basically work like phone. This phone literally goes nowhere with me, because I already know what's going on. So let's take you to another report here. Android phones will get the COVID tracking updates via Google. The updates will come to Android 6.0 Marshmallow phones and above. And so basically they already got the updates in there. That's what I'm telling you. And if you update it, then you already got it. And on the Android one, I haven't looked into how to get to it because it's not like the iPhone, but it should be in settings and privacy area as well. So don't update that. That's all I'm saying. But man, looking at that article yesterday, just going through it and talking about API Jack and the systems that we talked about and the contract and how they're going to get ready for it, and they got all the vaccines ready. What is the plan for people to push back and resist? Because society is about to change. Society is about to become a whole new world. And again, we don't have to comply to this society. They want us to comply to it. I had some section that I was reading in the Constitution that was talking about how, you know, we just basically don't have to accept all the, you know, intrusiveness of, you know, health, all this crap that they're trying to push on us. And again, I'll put that in another video to actually show you what I'm talking about. But we're hitting a critical point in civilization where we have to make big decisions, because sitting back and just watching here, it's not going to get us nowhere at this point. So we've hit the critical point. The contract is in. The cat is out the bag. The rabbit has jumped out the hat. Everything is out there right now. So I wanted to talk about probably some more stuff, and I'll probably have a video actually coming up where people can come in and talk. So we haven't did that in a while. We'll do that in a video coming up. Well, we'll just have a video and everybody just comes on and we talk about the future and what we should do. And not looking so old. Don't come on please with the President Trump stuff and what he's gonna do, because he's literally saying he's gonna have other forces and deploy the military for a vaccine. And I'm like, dude, like, if you still believe this man is going to save you, then I don't know what the heck America has in store for their lives if they really believe in the crap that, you know, he's been selling. The Kool-Aid that you've been sipping on, I'm sorry, is just not the reality of what we're seeing right now. I mean, if you look back at it, remember the sheriff tank came in and, oh, Trump, he militarized the police and all that stuff. Yeah. I remember talking to some military people saying, like, I don't think they should have tanks. I don't think they should have that. Just like when they came into New York with the military trucks, he said, well, you know, we used to have those overseas. I remember having gunners in top of the things overseas, but to deploy that on soil, yeah, it's ex-military people like all freaked out to see gunners and stuff like that in trucks coming on soil, because that's what war declarations look like. So we'll have a video coming up where we all can just talk about some stuff online, not going too crazy and letting the New World Order know everything, but just basically talking about our future and civilization. So thanks for tuning in. We'll have a lot of report coming up. And we have to defy this tyranny. There is no other route. It's that point now where you got to think about it, and you have to know by October they plan to come in with the teams and have the vaccines ready and plan for you to be vaccinated, tagged, and tracked. So there is no compliance to this. If you comply, that's the end of your soul. So if you're not willing to fight for that, you're not willing to fight for nothing. And you might as well give up to Satan. So I'm not doing that, and I know a majority of you not doing that. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to have another video. We have a live talk that'll be coming up today. Thanks for tuning in.